All right. Broadcast is live on my side. Let's get some Discord announcements. Yeah, we should be good. All right. Well, with that being said, welcome everyone to episode 13 of the Briefing Room, 13th MEU Command Staff. I am Captain Dubs, the commanding officer of Tuma.
I'm Master Sergeant Ace, Admin Enlisted Advisor.
Oh shit, that means me.
That means you, buddy.
Private First Class Corbeck. I am part of Havoc. I want to say Havoc 1. So pretty much lead Vic in any armored formation.
Cool. We do have a couple people missing at the moment. Captain Hideyoshi is somewhere. Cyber just got home from the grocery store. I believe he's just unloading some groceries. Soccer's doing school stuff. And White is on LOA, so he's off doing his own thing at the moment. So, starting off light tonight. No big deal, though. We will make do. So I guess first off, let's start with you, Corbic. You've been here for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I want to. I don't even know. 2-3 months, maybe. I don't exactly remember how long it's been. Been a minute.
2-3 months. I feel like it's been a lot longer than that. There's no way.
It probably has.
We'll just find that out real quick. When did you join? I can't see because I'm in streamer mode. Well, I have all their.
I could check when I joined the Discord.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just feel like it's been a lot longer than 3 months.
Come on, give me something here. Okay, see? Normally you can click on somebody's name and join. Did they up to that?
You joined in February.
Jesus fuck.
So more than
a little more than 2 or 3 months.
Got a HD, huh? Had no sense of skin. Jesus, that's embarrassing. Oh.
Yeah, so you've been here since February. You've been here for a bit. And you joined right as we transitioned from. I think right as we transitioned from Takistan, or from Lithium to Takistan, I think right around that time we transitioned
through Takistan. I want to say it was definitely rolling.
Yeah. So how have you been liking it so far, being over there and with the Mechie guys?
When we get to key things, it's fun. A few days where I'll admit emotions got of me when I hear what the assignment is today. So smoothing down my June Sergeant to get me track. But over great.
Check your mic or your Discord real quick. You're starting to come in broken.
He's
Again with
been
this?
broken for me this whole time.
It's something. Hang on.
I can't understand him at all. I don't know about you, Dubs.
I was able to start making stuff out, and then it was just like gone. Well, while we wait on that, Ace, let's go over the past couple of ops. Last week we had a pretty good one. Rare rare occurrence to have no deaths during an op.
Yep.
What happened on the ground that you think allowed that?
I think really it was just the type of mission and the AO we were in, because it wasn't like a grand battlefield. If you know what I'm saying,
Right.
it was more of like it was just linear, and we got flanked like once or twice, but mostly everything else around us was like clear, and to the right of us was ocean. So, you know, Meki takes up boats pretty quickly, along with Tuma, etc. Then we had a lot of corpsmen too. But I mean, even then, it was still surprising to have not even one, especially with all the explosions and stuff. I think maybe the fact that it was kind of like a convoy thing made everyone a little bit more cautious, and we took all the procedures we needed to with mines, pulling 360 security, and stuff like that. And the enemy was just kind of on, not exactly on their retreat, but they weren't trying to pick a fight. They were just holding.
So they
So that
weren't like
helped too.
overly aggressive.
No, not at all.
Yeah, from from the air side of things, we had a couple. There was a couple of strikes that we had to we took care of, but other than that, a lot of it was last week was a lot of it was like primarily around ISR for us. Flying patterns and circles around the AO, just kind of calling stuff out for you guys as y'all moved along. Couple of dicey moments there. Something had our, or at least my attention, and I was off observing something else, and then all of a sudden, Yogi comes over 70, getting all excited and asking for something urgent, and turns out some sort of armor piece rolled up on you and kind of spooked you.
I'm really trying to remember. I don't think we had anything like that come up on us.
I don't remember. It was.
I imagine we did.
I think it looked like it was. See, it's like it was like that vehicle that has, it's like an autocannon, but then it has like 4 missile tubes or 2 missile tubes on either side of it. That snuck out of the woods and rolled up on you guys. I think it was Objective Bravo as you guys were getting ready to leave.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Yogi got excited about it because rolled up on you and you started taking fire. He's like, I need fire on this thing now, blah blah blah. Like going, just like okay,
Yeah.
like okay, brother, like just tell me where it is.
Yeah.
So, but I think other than that, I mean, we didn't really have any. From what I could see, we didn't have any I say we. You didn't really have any close calls on the ground for that, or the rest of the mission.
Nah.
And we got Cyber and White here now. Very cool.
I apologize. I was doing the WoW stuff.
Nah, you're good. You can't see command chat. It's fine.
Nerd. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, he's got to make that bread.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
Agree.
Make
you
it
want to know
money.
something?
No.
I was tanking dungeons, rogue dungeons, for a Twitch partner. Okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Very fun. Very fun.
So you got used by the rich?
That's a wild way to look at it.
No, look at it this way, Ace. 20,000 people were watching me tank for a Twitch partner.
Okay. Jesus.
So when I go live later tonight, hopefully some of those leak over to me.
Ah.
There you go. That'd be something. 20,000 people. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Do you stress out in that type of situation when knowing how many people are watching you?
No.
Oh, well, you've also been playing the game since it came out, so.
Man,
Yeah.
I got nerves of steel. Do you not know?
I'm a WoW 20-year veteran day one player.
Let's
Nothing
get a-
can make me
Just get a
shake
radio
me.
check on Corbic. We get our mic fixed.
Did we?
You
Yeah, it
s- you
sounds
sound
like
a little
we got
better.
you 5x5 there, buddy.
So I was looking at the bottom left when that was happening. It's not a tech issue because I went and tested the mic quality thing. Like the ping or whatever the fuck for Discord likes to tank a lot lately, and
Oh, yeah.
nothing I can do about it. So if it starts happening, just let me know, and I'll shut up for a few minutes until it fixes itself.
A firm on that, brother. But yeah, so Cyber White, me and Ace and myself were just doing a little recap from the op last Saturday. Rare, pretty
Oh, good, 'cause I
rare,
wasn't here.
rare occasion that there's 0 deaths on both fronts, Tuma and
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, I mean, as head Zeus, I feel like I let people down. You know, I feel like.
Cyber, as head corpsman, I feel you let my corpsman down.
Damn.
Okay.
Well, we're fucked.
I was letting y'all know y'all having an amphibious assault coming up, and most of the island you're gonna be landing in is thickly jungled, which means you're not gonna have 2 mile to be able to lay targets down on before you get, within firing distance.
You're not gonna have Tuma at all. We're running on the ground.
No. That's no.
Oh no, that's
You're
next.
still in the air this op.
That's next week. Yeah.
That's first stop at Tanoa.
Good old Tanoa.
Yeah, first 3
So if
ops.
they're gonna be on
Tuma will be grounded, operating as infantry. Pretty fun. But
What
we'll
does
get
that
back
What
to
does that mean for my boys?
You guys will be doing some interesting stuff. I have some interesting. One of the positions that you're going to be able to hit, while, so, cool. We'll skip the op recap and we'll go into how things are going to look the first 3 weeks of Tanoa, since we're kind of asking about it and getting on that topic. First 3 weeks of Tanoa. Whereas in Pulau, the Japanese were holding their own, right? They had an airfield. We were able to deploy our assets. We were able to get our our Navy in position to do some strikes and be able to take off with our F-18s and stuff like that. Tanoa has been fully under PLA militarized control since the start of the conflict. And even before. We don't know actually how long they take control of this island, because we learned from the Russian attacks they've been using cyber warfare to stop radio traffic. So who knows how long that they've pushed the Philippines out of Tanoa? We don't know. So we will be inserting. Our initial operation will be inserting into the area via our lobster assets, which is the ribs. It's gonna be a lot of them, right? They're gonna be deployed pretty far out. I actually might get Tuma to fly very low to the water some war horses. Story-wise, not going to be shot down or anything like that, and then y'all fly back out of the AO, and then y'all join the boys on the ground. And do some helo casting of the ribs out of the back of those helos.
Ribs, huh?
Yep.
That doesn't make me feel very good about it.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna be. It'll be in the dead of night. So the first stop will be a night op. It'll be in the dead of night. And y'all will move up, and y'all need to secure what will be a launch point for the other operations. Don't worry, I already have a spot in mind, so you're not gonna have to just try to find one and hope it's best. We're gonna give you some intel about, hey, we found this thickly wooded area. This might be a good spot to set up for your next couple ops. The next couple ops are going to be almost insurgency warfare, something that we've fought against, but we've never done. It will be a lot of mine laying on roads and hitting convoys. It'll be a lot of dismantling supply chains, trying to destroy equipment, destroy assets, maybe do some raids on some AA positions we know that are stopping some of our longer range aircraft from being able to get close to the island. Hitting some anti-ship missile sites so we can pull our Navy in closer. It'll be all those kind of like, you would think like MARSOC would kind of be doing these style of ops, but we figured we'd just let everybody do it. So it's a lot of that sneaky stuff, almost spec warfare stuff, but not spec warfare stuff, you know what I mean? More just like hit and move kind of tactics, some guerrilla warfare. And then that's going to all set up for the 4th op of NOAA, and it will be a full-scale, we're going to do an air assault. And why we're doing an air assault is because we will need to deploy on multiple objectives very quickly to confuse their QRF. Because their QRF on the Tanoa is very dangerous. They send like tank columns to QRFs. So that is very, very like not good. They have several airfields in their control, and they have quite the arsenal of jets on board these islands. They have set up camp here in the means to keep these islands, not just hold it for a while. They are trying to establish Chinese presence on this island. So they will be fighting very hard for it. So if we can strike multiple locations in a very quick manner, and with our guerrilla warfare stuff being able to sabotage AA arrays, communication arrays, anti-ship missile systems, and all that stuff, it gives us that little hole that we could put an entire MEU on this island. From there, it'll be basically the big point of that op will be capturing the airfield. We have to establish an airfield on that southern island to be able to continue ops in the AO. We just won't be able to supply, because we can move our carriers in close enough to get our shit on shore, but they're going to have to get back out. They're not going to be able to stay. There's no way. We might lose a carrier, which is not acceptable. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how that's going to go. So for Tumal, like I said, the first 3 weeks, they're going to be grounded. They're going to be doing some sneaky stuff with the infantry. I have some special objectives for mechanized. Mechanized, not only are you going to be moving and sabotaging some vehicles, you are going to be in charge of stealing some vehicles. So we can move our people around easier. It also lets our engineers reverse engineer some of their weapon technology, especially when it comes to their rocket platforms. AA vehicles will be in high demand from y'all. And that is so we can start studying their AA rockets and figure out why our jets are not getting lock-on codes when they are being shot at. So, will be very, very fun.
I got
Everyone's
one
gonna
question
have-
on that aspect, if I may.
Yeah.
It sounds like this, with all that super secret stuff, that just has me concerned. How much are we actually going to be utilizing vehicles, and how much are we going to be forced to go on foot? Like, how much can we expect of that?
So a lot, I will say for 3 ops, you can see, I would say more than half of each op, you will probably be on the ground with infantry until you are actually able to get hands-on an enemy Vic, utilize its weapon capabilities to get our guys out, and then be able to store and learn more about the vehicle.
Okay, leading from that, if I may, you said like that's like 3 ops we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
It's
How
just
many
3
ops are we on Tanoa for?
A lot. Tanoa is going
lot?
to be a main. Yeah, we will be there for several months. Tanoa
Oh,
is going to
okay,
be
alright.
Yeah, Tanoa is a big map. So the island that we are on, I have written out for about. So the 3 first ops, and then the massive invasion is 1 month. I have a whole nother month worth of ops on just our little island. There's
Wow,
another
alright.
smaller island that's about the same size as ours, so that's about another month. And then the main island of Tanoa will take probably 3 months to go through.
Oh, so very minimal, extremely minimal amount of
Yes.
time
yes.
on that. All right.
like when we
No
recruit
further
people-
questions on that end.
Yeah, when we recruit people, we always tell them like, hey, sometimes because of story, you might have to be infantry because that's the focus of our group, right? Is infantry. Infantry is kind of like those main door kickers, and then mechanized and Tuma are support assets to those objectives. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think one of my issues was for a while there, I think my brain had forgotten that conversation.
Mhm.
So for a while, my brain was not with that understanding.
Yeah.
But now having that understanding, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and so sometimes we do ask those support elements that, hey, like, hey guys, whether it's because of manning or confines of the mission, Dubs has been grounded before because I tell them like, hey, in this AO, if you try to put a plane or a chopper up, you will get shot down. They have, you remember on Serrano when you flew too close to that mountain range and you got locked on by 12 different SAM sites at the same time?
Yeah. Yep. I remember.
That's when y'all was having the problem of flying too far out of the AO in enemy territory. Yeah, when we got to the mission where we took that mountain range, I told them like, hey, y'all probably are not going to be able to get in the air. It's just not going to be able to. There's so much shit that infantry has to destroy. So, and then the other reason why we would ask you to do infantry is story stuff like this. I mean, how are we, on that established of an island of a peer force, how are we getting our carriers and support stuff that close? Without some meddling in their supply chain and stuff like that, So it's just kind of setting up. Now, I always promise this too. Like I promised Tuma, I'll make the same promise to Meki. You will have ops after those three that will greatly make up for the lack of vehicle warfare. Like I said, the massive invasion is going to be all Tuma. Y'all will be coordinating rotary. Y'all going to be coordinating. Y'all going to be fighting a shit ton of red air when we finally bring our air wing in. Like y'all are going to have a field day. And then the next op after that, it is going to be mechanized turn to absolutely slaughter reinforcements coming across a bridge to try to reinforce the island. I mean, y'all are going to have just a shooting fish in the barrel field day with armor. So I very much try to design the story to where, like, if we have to take away our support elements, I pay them back on the back end.
Okay.
So,
Understood.
speaking of this with Tumal and Meki, for those Tumal people that want to do Corpsman stuff, we will do a refresher next Friday.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
And then whoever does it, they don't have to do Corpsman stuff. They can do infantry stuff as well. So it is up to them. Or I'll let Dubs figure out who's doing what, and he can get back with me before Friday, and I'll set up the trainings and stuff for that. Because Tumal doesn't really use Corpsman stuff too often, but they are qualled in it for situations like this.
Never
Where-
can go without too few corpsmen.
Yeah.
Or never can go with too many corpsmen. Whatever the saying is.
Yep. And I'll be back for the first op of Tumal being with Corpsman, so there won't be any confusion on who's in charge of Corpsman stuff because Dubs won't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, Dubs is dumb.
Yeah. I fly
Dubs is
planes.
dumb. I make things go boom, and I do it very well.
Yeah. If I run Corpsman, I'll be stuck in White's hip pocket, or if I run infantry, I already told Karsten or Ace, whoever just happens to be running the show, I'll be like, listen, man, I'm gonna be holding on to your pockets.
Oh yeah.
Just because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good
yeah,
times.
that's our upcoming, stuff we're looking at. Now we can get back to this past Saturday. What questions did you have White, since you weren't able to make it?
I didn't have any questions at all.
Oh, I thought people had questions.
No, we're just doing
No.
like a recap.
God,
That's all.
Yeah, I just got here myself because, like I said, I was doing wild shit, wasn't paying attention at the time, and Dubs messaged me. I just so happened to look, it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I was like, wait, we have like 2 people. Can you come on?
Where's Cap at?
Probably.
That is a good question.
He's probably pooping.
He might be asleep. His sleep
Yeah.
schedule has been in line with mine, which, well, I'm in Hawaii, so
Yeah.
that's probably not a good thing.
All right,
Bad influence.
so
yeah.
I will have to leave here at 10 p.m. exactly.
Okay.
So, let's go ahead and get started with these questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get right to it.
Yeah. White has to leave in 5 minutes. Okay, so we need to hurry.
Yeah.
No, it's an hour and 9
Hour
minutes.
and hour
okay?
and 10
Yeah, I
minutes.
know. I know. I'm just.
White needs to go now.
I'm just. Messing.
Let's see here. Have any members of the unit developed custom mods or tools specifically for your operations? How have these customizations enhanced your gameplay experience?
Oh man, do we? All right. So, for the longest time, we only had retexture stuff, right? Also, I'm sorry I jumped in answering this. I felt like it was directed kind of towards S3. So we have Anderson. Anderson works with the retexturing department of RHS. And if you're an Arma Milsimmer, you know RHS. He's working along some of the projects for Reforger and Arma 4 and some hush hush projects that I can't talk about. So, pretty cool. He does a lot of our gear retexture stuff like that. We reach out to creators that actually put the mods up. We say, hey, we really like the design of this. You mind if we like take it, retexture it a little bit, and use it in our mods? We get a nice little paper saying like, hey, that's cool, you know, and we get to work. On the other side of that, we have Jalbrew. I always like to say, maybe it's because I'm out here in Hawaii and around like a lot of Asians and Latinas, stuff like that. Usually a lot of the J's or Y's. Anyway, he has been working with the config side of modifying some weapons and stuff for us that we have, like from Avalon and stuff like that, and changing ammo values, allowing compatibility with RHS mod, like sights and lasers and all that kind of stuff. Even with the DZ and tripod, I cannot wait for this next release of his like addition of our edits to our mods. He added the 277 Fury round to the XM250 and made it DZ and tripod compatible. So that thing is now a laser beam that can shoot through car engines. Very excited about that. So we got he's been working pretty hard on that. I think he said his code that he's been working with is like upwards into the 1,500 lines of code now. So dude has been putting in the work, and we love it. We love it. It definitely makes it a lot easier to fight the PLA. The PLA mod that we use, which is VME PLA, their body armor is dick. They got some nice body armor, so it's nice to be able to use some DMRs and the spear with some 277 and some 6.8 Creedmoor. Cuts through it like butter. So hopefully it makes it a little bit easier on the battlefield to deal with those kind of threats. have any of y'all used any of the modified weapons that Jalbruz added? I think he's modified the spear. He's modified the CAC LMG, the RSAS, the Mod 11, and a couple other of the Avalon stuff.
think so.
Not that I can think of. I just stick with a pretty bog standard M4 and a 150 or whatever the fuck it's called. I forgot. Some kind of RCO. I'm a pretty
Yeah,
vanilla guy when it comes to my weapons.
Dude, man, there's something just sexy about just a M4. It's just
I
a
prefer,
nice weapon.
personally, I prefer the A1 just because I like having that full auto capability. Because on the Wake Island attack mission, since we didn't have as many, we got our vehicle knocked out from under us. So me and Rock ran supply vehicles for most of the op.
Oh, okay.
And I had footage of it, but I think I lost it. We and him were holed up in a little construction building. We got ambushed by a PLA, like special ops team,
Ooh.
at like point blank range. So I needed that capability to kill these motherfuckers, and I had it, and it worked. We lived. They died. So
Yeah,
I love that capability.
we always say, like, you know, you're not supposed to go sicklet and stuff, but I know every single one of those infantry motherfuckers have gone into a building knowing there's people inside and flipped that switch real quick. I do it too.
I mean, like,
I'm not even that
I heard
worried about
some-
it.
I heard some shots, and I poked my head up above the barrier, and then I'm like, there's like 5 dudes running up to me. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh shit, that's not Marpat. These dudes are like 10 yards out. They're in my face. So I didn't have it. I was like, oh, fuck. It was a good day.
That I thoroughly enjoyed doing that operation. I
Yeah,
thought
it was
that
good.
was maybe one of the most fun operations to watch y'all play, as well as Zeus.
Nice.
But yeah, M4s. I think if I had to pick my favorite M4A1, I had to go with the Block 2. Man, the Block 2 is so nice looking.
She is pretty. She is very pretty.
I need a mod that lets me put my rail pads on there. So if I'm not
Your
running
what now?
laser light. Yeah, it's honestly just a cosmetic piece, but it also adds some texture to the rail. So if you're not using a side rail piece, like if I don't have a peck on one of the sides or something like that, you put rail pads over, and it adds some like rubber. It's almost like a rubber kind of grip for your fingers while you're holding the rifle. But they also just look
okay.
like if you had a black rail system with some coyote tan rail covers, oh dude, it just looks so clean.
Hell yeah.
I can remember what gun I have on my flight kit. I think it's like the
Mark 18?
no, it's something 16.
Oh,
I
I
think.
don't even know
Could be wrong. I don't know. I put the gun on my kit like 4 months ago, and I just left it. The CAC SR16 is what I use.
Ah, those are also nice little short barrel M4s or SRs.
But yeah. Yeah. Speaking on just speaking on the original question, Anderson, I know you're out there. Kuma has switched our uniforms over to yours, so we're wearing your flight suits now. He put the
I love my vest.
yeah, he put the Tuma logo on the shoulder, and then the 13th, I think it was the 13th logo on the chest.
You know, speaking of
that's
shit like that, reminds me of an old Halo unit I was with years ago, my first series unit, and we had a guy that ended up going to work for one of the major like Halo mod studios. He made a mod for us, and all of the uniforms in it acted as wetsuits. So if you had to cross through the water, you went down over water, you could swim and move a lot faster. It was really handy.
That's very nice.
I've missed having that capability.
So I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, if that's something that a lot of people want, we can very easily add that. There's a mod that's called Swim in Any Uniform, and it literally just gives that to every uniform in the game.
that client side or is that like a server based thing?
Ooh. I want to say client side because it affects your character, but it would have to add animation. No, the animation is a vanilla animation. It might be client side. That might be
Interesting.
something I'll look into potentially adding, especially for Tanoa, because Tanoa has a lot of little rivers and stuff that goes through, and even if we're not
Yeah.
swimming underneath the water, it's nice to not just like what is breaststroke in a river, you know?
Yeah, that's painful.
It's very painful.
I wish
yeah,
there was
we
more
might
like
look
a
into that.
seamless transition into the water, because like I'll like run into the water, right, and then your character's like standing under the water, and then you go into like you're fully submersed, and then you go into the animation and
Oh,
start
yeah.
doing the whisper. That's that's always so annoying, especially when we're like getting out of helicopters or whatever. Like we'll just stand like a plank in the water and then go into it.
Yeah. We should definitely do some more Hilo cast. I love. Well, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the pilot. When I was in Tuma, I would always just fly just dirty close to the water, like under 10 meters, and just put the brakes on it and drop y'all. Like I would not land in the water. We would be moving forward at like 5 kilometers an hour, and we would be under 10 meters from the ground. And in Arma, that's the exact ratio you need to be able to drop into water without getting hurt. And so we would just say, 1 go, 2 go, 3 go, 4 go, and y'all would just like hop out. Like basically, think about just like dropping out of a helo into water right on the shore, and then like swimming ashore. So fun.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to start working with Tuma more about mobilizing the mechanized core. I want to do a lot more ops where we have to. I think in Tanoa, I'm definitely going to make it where we will deploy at a site, and in Tuma will be in charge of deploying our LAVs and stuff like that.
Go planes.
Oh yeah.
I think the last time I saw that was on a mountaintop in Pakistan somewhere. And it was the same operation. Infantry tried to kill us with a Moz because nobody told them we were up on this hilltop.
Oh, is that the that's
Even
the
though it was
that
on
was
fucking
the
CTAB.
that was the op that I think it was with the LAV or whatever got flown in from Warhorse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the last
Bet.
time I saw that happen.
Yeah.
I always think like people talk shit on logistics. I love logistic stuff in Arma. Just the fact that someone was looking at a game and was like, "Oh, this game is going to be about shooting, first-person shooter, tactical, big battle," and somebody in the back was like, "Well, what about if we could like fly vehicles around with helicopters?" You know. I like it a lot.
Oh, that's what that sound was. I heard a loud noise outside, so I checked my little flight radar app, and my house just got buzzed by a Blackhawk at 700 feet. That was cool.
Damn. Hell yeah.
Rattled the
Always
windows
fun.
a little bit. That was sweet.
Hell yeah.
Love when that happens.
All right. Let's see here. Let's move on, shall we? Let's see. How do you coordinate operations that involve multiple teams or roles? What tools or methods do you use to ensure seamless coordinations during complex missions? So Ace, when you're platoon leading, how do you coordinate infantry, mechanized, and air?
Well, I typically don't coordinate air. I leave that to Yogi. But if I have something of interest wanting to be bombed, I'll tell him. But mechanized, typically, they're used as support, so like SBF or whatever, for example. So they're going to be kind of off, not on their own, but kind of, but not very far. acting almost as like a support firefighter if they can. And then if they need to come support infantry on the main assault, they will. I guess that's really the only answer I got.
What about you, Cyber? In the instances where you've been like a platoon leader or platoon sergeant for a night, how do you coordinate the different sections together?
Strike, support, and assault. So, objectives or any danger around objectives, Tuma should be striking them before infantry has eyes on. And this is like dangerous threats. We're talking about like ZSUs, ZUs, main battle tanks, stuff like that. Heavily defended buildings that are not objective buildings. They should get a GBU. Fuck them. You know? SBF. Mechanized gets eyes on with their thermal optics, NVG optics, however they need to, and setting up base of fires from hillsides and stuff, shooting across and screening for infantry. And then either battle plan 1, 2, or 3. You know, frontal assault, flank left or flank right. It's always, it's routine. If you already have a plan in your head of how you want to do each objective, and it's standard, it makes getting on objective, pushing through objective, rallying for the next one, and then continuing the mission a lot quicker each time you do it. And then staying on your people. Infantry, sometimes squad leads need a little push. Like you give the order and you say, hey, I want us on the move in 2 minutes. Like, get the information passed out. And like that usually kind of lights a fire under them, and they get that stuff squared away really quick. And if they can't move, they'll immediately come back and be like, hey, I got 2 people down. We can't move yet. All right, well, I need to know as soon as they are up. Okay. And then that's how that rolls.
Very cool. Borbic, from your point of view, integrating or coordinating with infantry, what do you do?
Well, based on how most of my crews have been put together, or the crews I've been a part of, rather, I drive about 7 times out of 10, which isn't terrible. It's an extra set of eyes to look outside the vehicle. Like I think 3 weeks ago, there was a when we made I think a beach landing somewhere on Pulau, and I spotted a sniper in a tower somewhere. I think was one of the Zeuses taking a pot shot at some guys near us, and I managed to spot the guy. But I don't really do a whole lot as the driver. You just get from point A to point B and listen for instructions from the gunner or vehicle commander. Gunning's obviously my favorite. Getting to prosecute targets with the Pander. Jesus Christ. My dog was on the bed behind me and jumped off. It scared the shit out of me. It sounded like something hit the side of the house. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't really do a whole lot of the coordinating because I'm not AVC. That's all handled by the vehicle commander. He handles all the extra radio stuff that would be coordinating with external units.
Ain't firm on that. I guess from the Tuma side of things, obviously everything that's coordinated between us and ground is done through Yogi. So, you know, there's definitely an air of importance on making sure that what Yogi is calling in is accurate, and then, you know, if we're calling something out to him to be accurate, because he needs to relay it to ground if it's, you know, is this something that could be a threat? Is this an imminent threat, or is it, you know, just a non-issue basically, or something along the lines of like, hey, or like
I will be right back.
Like last Saturday, I think it was in between. Where was it? In between Bravo and Charlie, where there were just 2 tanks sitting on a road. They had their barrels faced down the road, you know, where you guys would be approaching from, and He's like, hey, you know, these tanks are here. Just keep an eye on them. Let me know if they start moving. And I'm pretty sure I had my camera on on those 2 tanks for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, just waiting for them to, you know, even show any signs of movement. Because like we had the fire mission called in and ready to go, and then he gave me a, you know, a wait code or a stop code, you know, what did we call it? A go code. That's what it is. Basically saying, you know, don't fire unless I say, you know, whatever this go code is. And I said, okay, cool. What's the stipulation of the go code? He's like, if they start moving, tell me, and I'll tell you what the go code is. I was like, yeah, okay. So stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like truly, air. The link between air and ground is Yogi and Bandit. So whatever pertinent information needs to be passed needs to be told to them so that they can pass it up or pass it down. So but yeah, let's see what we got going on here. How do you approach missions that don't go as planned? Can you share an example where a failure turned into a valuable learning experience?
So the 2 ops that I know of that we failed was due to death counts. And that showed people that they need, like, it is beneficial for them to come to trainings and stuff to learn how to do stuff, because most of our trainings we will kind of like hint on what is going to be happening during the op. So if they're not there at training, they're not going to be prepared for the op. Now lately it hasn't really happened too much. I mean, the attendance for Friday trainings have been low.
It's just nothing new at this point.
Yeah. But the 2 ops that I do remember us failing were because of death counts, and people trainings did bolster trainings for a few weeks. So that was a learning experience for everybody, and then they also realized that it's not every op's going to be an easy op. Some of them are going to be difficult, and you actually have to pay attention. Everybody just can't do what Ace does and just run around and
What?
try to shoot shit.
I don't know what your an illusion of this is.
Ace, I've got hundreds of videos of you just
I'd
being
like
off
to
by
see them.
yourself.
I'd love to see them.
Time to make an Ace runs off compilation.
Oh yeah, I'll work on that. That'll be my
Just start
contribution to
capturing
S1 Media.
Yep, you do that.
Oh boy. I think the two ops that I can immediately think of, which were death count, was the one in Takistan, and then Winter Nymph was the other one.
We failed a winter name.
It was a Nymph mission. Was it Winter Nymph or fall or spring Nymph Cyber? Which one
I
was
don't
it?
remember failing many on AMP.
I was only on NAMP for like the last winter, and then the rest of it was fall, or not fall, but spring. But when I was
We failed one on Winter Nap. It was our second mission.
Yeah.
He's being flown in by Warhorse. And I told them, I gave them a path. Like, the Zeus drew a path because, like, it will get dangerous. You need to fly this path. And they went to the opposite side of the mountain. I don't know what got miscommunicated or something like that, but or maybe they was just like, nah, this is a better spot over here. Don't know what happened, but they flew directly into a Russian Panzer system. And
Yeah.
the entire infantry landing party, which was 28 people, I think, something like. It was a full warhorse. Went down, and we were immediately at body count. I didn't want to end the mission right there, so I counted 10 of them, and the cutoff was 13. And then throughout that mission, it wasn't maybe on the next objective we got pushed past 13 and had to fall back. So
Yeah.
Quick question on that, if I may. Was that a pre-play system that they just happened to waltz into, or did you see them going off course and like, nah, I'm gonna fuck them?
nope, it was an objective that they were going to hit later in the mission. So it
Oh,
was
all right.
already established. It was the whole mission was to put infantry teams on the ground to destroy enemy Panzer systems.
Oh, that makes it even better.
Yeah, they were killed by an objective that was already laid in.
Well, I will say
but also,
I was
we've
not.
never seen Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I will say I was not in command of Tuma at that time.
No. And also, we had never fought anything like the Panzer system. This was the first time that I downloaded or we put on the Russian 2035 mod, which added,
no, not that one.
It added those Panzers.
Oh fuck.
They have an engage and kill range of 19 kilometers. So as soon as that warhorse came around that mountainside, it was already over. It was done.
Yeah, and it's also like a near instant lock on too.
Yeah, those things are very quick. They're semi-active radars. They fuck.
And then we found out what the harms can do.
Yeah. In a training day, me and Dubs played some air versus anti-air, and air won by a long shot. Yeah, fun times.
The stark reality when Cyber was like, "Wait a minute, you're locking onto me. I can't see you yet."
Yeah, I don't know where you are.
Uh-oh. But yeah, it's definitely a fun time. And then
I miss my days in Tuma, man. Tuma was fun.
do a little Crimson Zulu 22 action.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
kinda
know-
wanna
I
just
wouldn't
take a
know
little vacation
what it-
over there.
I wouldn't know what it would like, what it would be like to be in Tumal, because I'm not allowed to.
Why?
What do you mean you're not allowed to?
Not allowed to.
Riptide's not here anymore.
Huh, oh,
No, it's every time I try to learn how to fly, shit pops up or stuff like that, and I'm not allowed to transfer over because I'm lead corpsman.
Yeah.
I don't know about transfer, but I'm pretty sure you can swing like, hey, I want to get my rotary claw because if we ever do Casavax for any reason, like, I don't want to take up a 2-mile asset to do that. That sounds reasonable, right?
Yeah.
The other failed mission was Takistan. It was the one where infantry had to assault that big ass fucking city. It was like a mountain CQB nightmare. Fargabad? Or not Far.
Yeah,
yeah.
Farabad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the center of.
Far
It's
is
the
bad.
It was the center.
Wasn't that because they didn't do recon that week?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I remember
exactly
that because
why.
I could never go to that, and no one showed up. So they're like, "All right, I guess you get
If you're
fucked
gonna
up."
fall asleep out here, you
Yup.
should go to bed.
That's oof.
And they got fucked up.
Glad I wasn't there that week. I think I was working that day. That's not what I was saying.
All right. But yeah,
That's
that
next, Dubs.
that app they got fucked up.
Not a fun time.
This one can go to Cyber, and then the rest of us can input if we have any.
Come on.
Do player choices affect mission or story outcome or progression?
1,000% yes. That is my favorite thing about being a Zeus. There is several different storylines that can happen. Now, obviously, the main story will always progress, right? One of the, I think, cool side choices that got made, and it even got its own video created, and that is when Tuma, pretty sure it was not Tuma, that is when Rock of
He fucking ganked the dude with the Bushmaster. I was in his
Oh,
vehicle
yeah.
that night too.
oh
He was
yeah,
ganking him in the window with a sable round.
the PLA Spec Ops who was there to, what they thought was doing was helping us, quote unquote, you know. They were there, they took out the Takistan military there, which is the first time that we've seen them actively engage Takistan militants. They've engaged plenty of militiamen, like in extremists. They've been fucking them up because they keep on trying to steal their UN supplies. But actual Takistan military is the first time that they have done an operation against them. And we roll up on this spire. And this guy is the Chinese like squad lead is sitting on top of the building, and he's trying to tell us to not come into the area because he was planting explosives on the spire. And he fired a round up in the air to gain y'all's attention, and Rock took that apparently as an act of aggression and put a 25 mil right through his chest. And so instead of a role play scenario happening with the PLA there and us being able to kind of talk and stuff, it was open conflict. And I switched those people to hostile so fast, and it was just a whole skirmish between Marines and PLA Spec Ops on the top of this mountain. And there was a news chopper in the air.
So when I
What
so
was
when
the
I
news
said
chopper doing there?
Yeah,
So
it
when-
was just that reporting, man.
So
We'd
when
already been
They have
blowing up shit.
news.
when I said PLA shot first, I was not wrong. They just didn't shoot at us first.
Did not shoot at us. And so the PLA put out a YouTube video on their news broadcast that you can find on our YouTube channel. What is it called? Hold on. It is called. Uh-oh.
I got it right here.
Where is it? Oh, did it not go on our YouTube channel?
I don't think so.
I think it was just a video that Shadow made for the Discord.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was Shadow, our video guy, made a whole news broadcast, like an emergency alert for the Chinese people. It was in full Chinese with Chinese and English subtitles. So you actually had to read the subtitles of what was being said. And it was like it was so well done. And it was basically like saying our heroic special forces team was there to assist the allied nations in Takistan, and they turned on our, the 13th Marine dogs turned their back on our people and our heroes and gunned them down, and we looked real bad. We looked really, really bad. And so that was very cool. And also, sometimes y'all do things that makes my life so easy, because I've been sitting there trying to plan for the last 4 weeks before that happened. How the hell am I going to get, what intel am I going to put down that will make the Chinese have to engage our troops first, right? Trying to do that. And then I just had not ever thought about the idea of us shooting them first. So that was so easy. There was a side quest line that I had set up in Takistan.
That video got posted.
I couldn't find it.
It's unlisted,
Oh, okay, cool.
which I can change that.
I wouldn't do that because the 13th MEU is technically a real MEU.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be weird. There was also a whole nother storyline that was missed, actually, and it kind of made me mad. I actually got mad at Yogi because of what happened, and because I think he was the one that shot him. I can't, for some reason, me and Yogi like butted heads about it, but there was a CIA contact in Pakistan that had been made and captured, and he was being held in our AO. So as a side objective on one of our, regular missions, we were to push in, grab that guy, and then have Tuma deliver him to PMC forces in the southeast. Well, we get there, we made contact, and they just didn't have good barrel discipline or jumped the gun. They went into the room. The guy was already handcuffed, and they just shot him in the chest. 2 to the chest, gone, done. And so instead, Tumad delivered the body to the PMCs, which was the Ion PMCs in Pakistan. And then that was the last. I think Soccer and whoever was flying with Soccer was the only people that ever saw Ion PMC in the AO, because their contact got killed, and so they were no longer needed. And so that was weeks of writing, by the way, just thrown out, gone.
Damn.
So yeah, players' decisions and choices and all that kind of stuff plays a huge part in our mission. Right? We're not gonna just be like, hey, you weren't supposed to do that, so like we're just gonna do this op again so you can make the right choice. No.
No retcons here. We're not Marvel.
Yep. No reboots.
No multiverse shit.
Yeah. So long-winded way to say yes. Very much so. People's choices and actions in game heavily influence story outcome.
That's why I'm glad I'm a corpsman, and our decisions really don't matter, except for life and death. Oh, if anybody, if anybody wants to see that video that Cyber was talking about, send me a DM on Discord, and I will send you the link.
Yeah, good call, White.
All right.
You could probably just put the link in the description of this video, so only the people that see this live video will be like, "Oh, what's this video?"
All right.
If I remember to, I will. But at least this way, I can say I told people.
Oh, I had just thought of another way that our actions and stuff got changed. We just had a video made on the Alamo, what we call the Alamo mission, which is where like a recon squad of our Marines got surrounded when Pakistan forces invaded Lithium in full force. Well, another situation happened where one of our pilots, definitely not just got like, free candied white van kidnapped by Pakistan pilots. That's exactly what happened. I landed the bird and said, "What are you doing, American? Get in the chopper." And he said, "Okay."
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, took off, and he was like, "Are you gonna take me back to the airbase?" And then in just my voice, I was like, "Hey, Alpaca, I'm gonna need you to take off that LR radio and your weapon." He was like, "Fuck!" And we started flying north, baby. But there was a video of him being paraded in the streets of a town called Zargabad, which was in between, like it was kind of a border town of Afghanistan and the fictional Pakistan. And like, yeah, militants are like, there's civilians on the street, like throwing stuff at them and cheering and stuff, and the military's like pushing him with the butt of his gun. He's like bandana in the middle of the street and stuff like that. And that led us to the location of our ace card, HVT we was hunting for, the Ace of Diamonds. Which then that became, that mission was crazy. We put a whole armor platoon down as AI. And I think we had some people controlling one of the tanks, right? The lead tank was controlled by ground forces, right? Something like that. But there was an entire armor column that pushed that town to get our pilot back, and then to also capture the Ace of Diamonds. That was the largest. Like it was like a 4-hour mission. That was awesome. So
Getting the pilot back was a secondary mission.
Yeah.
yeah.
He got bullied for a little bit after that.
What are you talking about? He still gets bullied.
That's true.
Yeah, he got bullied so bad he joined the Air Force. What a nerd.
Yeah, what a fucking nerd. Wait a minute.
Yeah. There is an imposter among us.
Tell you what though, he got his first job pick.
Oh, that's good.
What was his
Probably
job
drone
pick?
operator, right?
No, it's I don't know why it blew up. I told it
It
to
was what
land
now?
and then it exploded. It's a oh geez, what do they call it now? Mobility Force Airman, I think.
I don't know what that means.
He's gonna be either a loadmaster or an in-air refueler, or boom operator.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So, Mobility Force Aviator. So he's gonna be an enlisted aviator, basically. So, good on him. He said loadmaster. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Get ready for a lot of math. Let's see. All right, this is our last question. Unless somebody comes up with some other ones. How do you manage members with varying skill levels, from beginners to seasoned veterans? What training or support do you provide to help everyone contribute effectively?
So, I'll do this real quick. Cyber, can you mute your mic?
Got the old sink action, filling up with water.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to
Oh.
corpsmen, I will, like, if it's a new person in the unit, and when we do their corpsman qual, if they know what they're doing, and we can see that they know what they're doing, alright, cool, they're fine. But if they are struggling a little bit, like brand new to Cat Medical, and they're having a little bit of issues, but they've got the primary concepts of it, I will put that person with like Sluggo or myself or somebody who's more experienced, especially in an op, for an op or two, if I have the corpsman to do so. Then during the op and stuff, we'll help them figure everything out in op, because in op and training is completely different. So you got all this other stuff to remember, and Cat Medical is a lot to remember.
Yeah, it is.
So, especially, so that's why like I put them with somebody that's more experienced and can show them little tips and tricks to make it better. I've got cheat sheet that I started when I first became a corpsman, because there's a lot of information that Bison has redone and made it better. That I always give that to them when we do their training. Tell them if they've got 2 screens, have that open on the second screen, because that will help them out with everything. Like, I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I still got the cheat sheet open on my second screen.
Oh, yeah?
So it's one of those things that I try my best to put new people up for success with experienced people that their knowledge and wisdom can rub off, especially during ops. And then if they're still having issues, I will get with them throughout the week and just do corpsman training the entire time till they are fluent with it and comfortable with it.
When it comes to that, on the TUMOS side, we train everybody on a level playing field. Obviously, we'll take into account, how much experience somebody has or whatever, but everybody gets trained the same, regardless of their experience level with it. If you've never flown before, or you have 1,500, 2,000 hours in Arma, and you know it's all flying, that's cool. We're still gonna train you by our written guide, so that way, when all is said and done, we know that they were trained by our standard, or my standard, basically. So that's how we do it in Tuma.
Ace, I'll let you speak on this because you're, kind of AEA, so you'd be over recruitment and S7.
What was the question again? I forgot it after all y'all talked.
How do
What
you...
is the meaning of life?
42.
Nothing mattered.
42. How do you manage members with varying skill levels, from beginners to seasoned veterans? What training or support do you provide to help everyone contribute effectively?
So if they're like brand new to the game, etc., noobs, usually experience is what really helps them. And that's including just our regular training, CUBF, just our BCT, mount, etc., all the little standard unit SOPs and stuff. That helps a lot too. But what can get them really good is just, experience, in my opinion. Like, there's some people who have been through all this stuff and just simply, maybe it's not necessarily their fault, but they just aren't very skilled with, like, I guess FPSs or whatever. But even then, we find something that they're good at, like let's say they're a really good auto rifleman, then they stick with that or whatever. If they're not really good with AT or whatever, then they don't use that type of stuff. We find out what they're good at and like exploit it or work or expand on that.
Yeah, I think always one of my favorite mottos that I've learned through the Navy is, like, you play to your strengths, practices to your weakness, or practice to your weaknesses. So always put yourself in the best position when it's go time, when we're in a fight, when we're in an op. But in the meantime, in the trainings and stuff, focus on those weaknesses. Get well-rounded members.
Repetition, repetition, repetition.
That's also good too.
Absolutely. Repetition, repetition, repetition.
Because like when I do when we do corpsman quals, when they're doing the practical, they go through multiple stages. Like the first one, me or the instructor will show them how it's done, explaining what we're doing. The second time, we help them along. And then the third time, it's all them. And like the instructor will help out with little things like stitching, something like that. But other than that, it's literally 3 stages. And if you don't pass the final stage, you don't get your corpsman qual. And we will stay there until you are comfortable enough to pass that 3rd stage. Like when I did Keeper's corpsman qual, we were there for 4 hours before she actually completed her corpsman qual. So yeah, it's I take our training, our corpsman training, very seriously, just because of the training and stuff that I had when I first became a corpsman. I didn't want people to go through that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you kind of have to. What about you?
So-
What about you, Korbic? How does that translate over to Meki?
That's an excellent. Actually, you know what? I heard what he was talking about, but what was the base question behind that?
How do you manage members with varying skill levels, from beginners to seasoned veterans? What training or support do you provide to help everyone contribute effectively?
That's a good question. Purely based off of the fact that I'm just a line guy. I don't have any responsibility in my section as of yet. But personally, how I would deal with someone who is obviously inexperienced is just try and put my patience hat on and just do what I can to work through it with them. But if it's gotten to the point where we've been there for a while and it's been long enough that you should know what you're doing, I'm gonna probably get a little perturbed if it's been long enough and you should be absorbing these things. If you clearly haven't been, then I'm gonna probably pass off them like, hey, this could be a lame duck. Is there any way we can nurse him back to health or something like that? But that's how I would personally feel about something like that.
Very cool. Sometimes there's just people out there that no matter what you do, they just don't get it.
Nope.
I've had to deal with training people like that, like in my actual job. So I get it. Well, that is all the questions that I had for tonight. Unless anybody has anything else, we can move on to the wheel and final comments. Anything else from the table?
There was one question I thought of the other day, but I forgot to write it down.
Very good. Save it for next week. All right.
If I remember it.
Yeah. All right. Standard practice. Corbic, let's get some guesses out of you. Who do you think will pop up in next week's episode?
Oh shit. Let me
If
actually
you-
open up the Discord here and look through names.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's see. Well, if the universe wants to take the same path of pulling in someone a bit lower, I'm gonna say. Shit. I don't want to go too low. I want to shoot for somewhere. You know, what about? I'm gonna shoot for Tasty. He's pretty midline in the whole string of things. I'm gonna say Tasty.
Tasty, all right. AC got.
Bro really just called tasty mid.
I mean, like mid-level. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Give me a second. Just loading up. Bison.
Bison, all right. White.
Let's go with. Pleb.
Can't do pleb. He's in the middle of the Australian outback.
Never mind.
He's fighting the
let's
big spiders.
let's go with Arc.
It legs and all.
Arc, all right. Cyber.
He's caught in a
You
web.
alive?
Cyber.
Aha, very good. Talking on mute.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I want to see some more Tuma people come in. Actually, oh man, you know what? I wouldn't mind having one of the Cunninghams. Come on.
One of?
So
Yeah.
Nap or Cunningham.
Yeah.
All right, Nap and or Cunningham. I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Lemon. Let's see if we can get Lemon on here next week. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and spin that wheel, shall we? Tom.
Who?
He's one of my
Tom.
corpsmen.
Oh, there you go.
See if we can get him on here again. He got picked a while ago, I think, or was he a backup?
He was a backup. Yeah, there's a couple names on the list that we need to remove because they've left the unit.
Yeah, I gotta update the wheel.
And who for the backup?
All right, let's get the backup picked. All right, let's spin her again.
Mattis?
Rooster.
Rooster.
Oh hell yeah! Ah man, I love Rooster, dude. Such a fun time to
Love him
talk
too.
to. I'm glad that I let my intrusive thoughts stay intrusive thoughts. I almost said some crazy shit.
Choke him down. Choke him down.
Yep. Well,
What?
Do we want to choose another backup just in case? Because Rooster, he was in the Discord a couple days ago, but he's doing his apprenticeship or whatever, I believe.
I mean, yeah, we could pick another one.
Just in case.
I like spinning wheels.
I like spinning wheels too. Let's do it again. No. He won't be able to make it. He works at night. It was Lenve.
Oh damn.
Tomo.
Tomo. Or Tomo in some native tongues.
Oh, you know what? He can't even see 13th chat. That's fine. All right. Final comments. Korvik, did you enjoy your time?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember I was at work last week, and I'm like, oh, I was checking through Discord. It was kind of quiet, and I see a ping. I'm like, huh? What? You want me to what? With who?
Trying to be famous, buddy.
It's your time to
I
shine.
just thought that was like, I don't know. I didn't know what the system was. I didn't realize it was like completely random chance thing because my brain was, I think like the Saturday before that, was one of the days where, Mr. Lambert had to take me aside and pretty much tell me to chill the fuck out. So I'm like, oh, they're never gonna fucking, I'm never gonna do something like that. And then I'm like, oh, hey, they do want to talk to me. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
No.
name is on the wheel.
I'm glad you kind of brought something like that up. That's a good final topic. Getting like talked to, or even getting an NJP in the unit, it's not the end of the world. Like,
Really isn't.
I think
He's very patient with my ass. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
He's when it comes down to it, he's very good at keeping the discipline of the unit as a whole.
Yeah. That's why he is in our S2. He's very good at it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why he's an S2 and I'm not.
Yeah, because wife's like, I don't give a fuck.
NJP's ass.
Listen here, shit ass.
Hey,
Shit,
I'm,
oh,
I'm,
God.
I'm not gonna lie. I've got NJPs written up like 5 or 6 people, just waiting for them to fuck up.
You just have those shit preloaded.
Okay. All right.
Wait a second.
Wow.
White is locked and loaded, gentlemen. Be careful.
White is vicious.
Okay,
That has me worried. If someone like that has it, Lambert definitely has one already.
let me say it this way. These are the
New
people that we
podcast segment called White's List.
these are people that we've had some issues with in the past, and like we're keeping an eye on some of them.
Oh my god, I just thought of a perfect meme. Oh boy.
So
Oh.
it's like okay,
Oh,
just
no.
just waiting to see if they fuck up again, like, and if they don't fuck up within 4 months, I get rid of it.
Wait, is this an ongoing thing you do?
Dude, I've been doing it.
Alright, we
I've been
gotta-
doing it for. I've been doing it for like a year, dude.
Oh my god! All right, we gotta talk offline, because
But you know what?
that's not good, brother.
How many AJPs have I actually submitted?
Yeah, fair. But yeah, getting NJP, getting something like that is not the end of the world. Like, go through with what, like, yeah, it's gonna suck. You got in trouble for something you did on a video game. That sucks. All right, it's really annoying. But we have rules and regs, and you signed. Yes, I understand these. So, do your time, and then we move on. Command moves on just as fast as you do when you finish the NJP. Like, it looks better to us when somebody gets an NJP to actually just do it. Like, that at least shows integrity.
Yeah, that's
So-
a good point.
It's not the end of the world. Just deal with what you got to deal with. Move on. And continue to have fun on weekends. Like, that's what we're here for.
Hell yeah. Oh, one final question, because I didn't think I remembered it from earlier. With all the talk of Tanoa, when is that happening? Like, when are we going there?
That is very soon. So
Very
we have
soon?
this op. This is our last op on Pulau. And then
Are we gonna get to
next
do-
weekend,
Oops, sorry. Continue.
next weekend is Tanoa, is the first the midnight landing on Tanoa.
So, with this week being Pulau's grand finale of sorts, can I
Mhm.
assume that this isn't that we're gonna get to, mount up and do stuff? My brain faltered for a second there.
No, so we won't be doing. You're talking about doing like the logistical mission, like last
No,
time?
no. I mean, like, fucking talking about, are we gonna get to do mechy stuff?
Oh, it's an amphibious assault. Y'all will be taking a
Oh,
beachhead
okay.
and opening up in tree lines with 30 mil. Yes, y'all will be doing some mechy stuff.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I will say with that, thank you to those who showed up. Lemon, you showed up at the last possible second. Very cool. We're about to cut it here. Thanks for showing up. Yeah.
Saying hi.
Yeah, thanks for saying hi. Giving us
Thanks,
giving us the Irish goodbye, as they say.
I don't think
Um,
that's. Never mind.
I don't. I think you have that backwards.
I don't know. Who knows?
Irish hello.
Yeah.
How do Ireland say hello? Usually with a pint of Guinness.
Yep. Absolutely. Thanks for coming out, watching. Corbett, thanks for coming out tonight. Really cool to have
Hell
you
yeah,
on.
man. Makes it more personable to kind of know these people that are above me and knowing, like, hey, when shit comes down or they make a decision, I know that they made the right fucking choice or whatever.
Yeah, that's like
Good to know the people above you.
that's why we do this, to kind of have connect a little bit better with people that we may not interact with regularly.
Command
Yeah.
outreach, baby.
Yeah.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah, Lemon, you better be sorry.
No, wait.
You're
We
demoted.
talked about that. You can't
Oh,
say
here it
that
is.
online.
Uh-oh.
What?
Now where's my wallet?
You're gonna pay us later, okay?
Yeah, donate to S8.
I gotta pay you for that kilo. I mean, what?
What?
Huh?
All right, and on that note,
And with that, we gotta go.
all right. Thanks for coming out. Like, subscribe, and comment. You know the deal. And we will see y'all this week, Friday, GWI and awards night. So should be a good time.
Be there in your alphas and dress whites.
I
No,
wish I was going to that.
for Corman, you will be in your dress blues.
Oh, y'all switching to dress blues? Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess it is.
Ooh.
I guess
It's
it is
after Labor
November,
Day.
Yeah.
It's
Or
after
September,
Labor Day.
whatever.
Yep.
In
after
Hawaii,
Labor
we're
Day.
dress whites all year round.
Oh, shit, where's my socks?
Oh God, where's this sucks? All right, we will talk to y'all later. Thanks for coming out, and see you next week and this weekend.